Om Agyantiminandasya Gyananjana Shlakaya Chakshunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimati Gaura Govinda Swaminiti Namane Vandeham Sri Guru Varam Rupanoga Pavaram Vajarasa Rasikim Cha Narayanam Tam Papannam. So, first of all, I'd like to offer my unlimited obeisances at the lotus feet of my Parampara Gurudev, Srila Gaura Govinda Swami Gurudev, as well as the same unlimited obeisances at the lotus feet of my beloved Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Yesterday we were speaking in this kind of short series of classes that I'll be doing before I leave Radhikunj on the it's really meant as a series of interactive question and answer sessions we're having both with the devotees here in Radhikunj and the devotees online. So I've just been sitting here with Rasik Mohan and Madhavendra Puri Prabhu discussing some questions that led from what we discussed yesterday. Rasik Mohan Prabhu posed a question about this hot topic of understanding the importance of the Bhagavat Parampara, or as Prabhuji has been saying for many years, the Parakiya line, Parakiya Parampara. And I think that name, Parakiya Parampara, in and of itself indicates the importance, because if you look at the way the gopis are accepting, it's not that they are married, it's not that they are locked in, which is like a diksha. So that's a good point. It's really interesting. We were just saying before we started the video that diksha line is very important because, as Rasik Mohan said in his class about a month or so ago, that this diksha line is very important because the formality, or it's almost like the society depends on that. So even if you see within Krishna's Leela, Radhika's married to Abhimanyu, and
without that there'd be no Parakiya.
Without that there'd be no Parakiya, right? So it's necessary. So again, it all ties in beautifully. And I remember I was actually thinking the first time that I heard Prabhuji speak, well, he's spoken on it. I realized that Prabhuji's been speaking on this for many years, 20 years. But it was only, there was a point for me personally where in about 2011 when my Thakurji was stolen and I came to Mathura and Prabhuji gave me that, that was a class that you were typing, right? Rasik Mohan used to type the classes live when we were in Mathura into the computer, and he was expressly forbidden to give them out to anybody. And Prabhuji was speaking about Brahman Diksha and about Diksha Mantra and how Brahman Diksha is given within the Parakiya Parampara, and that class blew my mind. And I went to Rasik. It was like being in Bhubaneswar when you get somebody and they just jump on you, because I used to record the lectures. Somebody would jump and you go, Prabhu, I've got to have that lecture. It was like one of those moments for me. And so it's one thing to hear about that, but it's very subtle, and it's very hard to, even now, I mean, I feel like I've just got the faintest grasp of what's actually going on. I hope I'm not, I mean, this is a closed group, isn't it? We can speak about Prabhuji's activities.
It's open, but it's fine.
Yeah, because even that answer that I gave yesterday to answer your question about that that everybody going to an Uttam Mahabhagavat to accept Diksha, but without sincerity, in a like a societal, like ISKCON, or within, everybody, we bring everybody to Gurudev. So it seems that Prabhuji is, and quite sensibly, is changing that. And why I just said that then is because a year ago when I was here, we were cooking the feast, I think, for after Janmashtami, or Srila Prabhupada's appearance day. And we were cutting some fruits. And Prabhuji walked past Sam, Bhakta Sam, and said, "Tomorrow I'll give you Harinam. Do you want?" And Sam said, "Yes." He was sitting between Acharya Ratna and myself. And I'd never seen Prabhuji do that before. I was quite amazed. And then, so when he walked off to get something in the kitchen, then he walked back past us again and he said, so Sham asked Prabhuji, "So you will be my guru?" And Prabhuji said, "No. I will just give you house, blankets, some clothes. I'll feed you. I'll care for you. I'll do everything for you." And then Sham said, "So who will be my guru?" And he pointed to Acharya Ratna and he said, "Oh, his friend, Giri. Giri will be your guru." And then Prabhuji walked off. So I think in general, we find this a little, we've been around for a while, we find that a little strange. Even for myself, I was a little bit, I'm going to process that. So actually, I spoke to Prem Pradeep, and he was the one who said, "Yeah, this is quite natural." And what he said was the answer that I gave yesterday. So, I think you really have to see these things not in a very sectarian way, not in a very narrow way. I always think back to what Srila Govinda Maharaj was asked when he was asked about some of his godbrothers going to hear from Srila Narayan Maharaj. He said, "Vaishnavism is not narrow. Vaishnavism is very broad. So when you ask me these questions, the question of ISKCON and not ISKCON will come." He said, "But Vaishnavism is not narrow. Vaishnavism is very broad." So we have to think in a very broad sense that what is the Acharya doing? The Acharya is doing Sampradaya Rakshana, and also he's continuing, particularly in this line. If I look at Prabhuji in the context of Gaudiya Vaishnavism evolving in the West, so you hear Srila Prabhupada coming, and then after Srila Prabhupada left, what we know is that between 77 and 86, when Srila Govinda Maharaj first started travelling, there was not a Mahabhagavat travelling. Right? We see that Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj was nourishing, Gurudev was nourishing. I know from 81, Parankishore was going to see Gurudev in Mathura. So,
You had to come to him.
Pardon?
You had to come to him.
You had to come to him. You get nourished that way. And now, these centres and the way Gaudiya Vaishnavism is really taken root in the Western countries and becoming very popular. You can go everywhere now, people will be chanting Hare Krishna. And to some extent, I feel as a Grihasta, that's one thing that my Guru Maharaj told me to do, is to become normal, normalize being a Gaudiya Vaishnav Western devotee. Not like
Great service, actually.
and go to work every day and become like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
Giving roots to the Dharma.
Right? So Prabhuji is the Acharya, in my opinion. I'm very certain, and the Acharya's duty is this Sampradaya Rakshan. So he is. Bhakti is not stagnant. It can't be restricted. You can't say, "Oh, in this society we did this, and now we're going to do this forever." It's always evolving. It's always flowing. It's always new and fresh. And if it is to become very widespread, I'm actually thinking in terms of how I design my job is like an architect. One of the principles is it has to be scalable and supportable. It has to. Yeah, IT architecture. So you have to design something very simple that can scale to a very big thing. So if this Gaudiya Vaishnavism is going to scale all over the world, then the way Prabhuji is doing, which is to send out very qualified, have a training center like this, Radha Kunj, and train the devotees. I was thinking, if you're going to ask questions, you have devotees here in front of me like Rasik Mohan and Jamuna. My question is, how does Rasik Mohan fit so many shlokas in his head, and how does Jamuna hear English, translate it? She hears high philosophy in English. You've got to do this while I'm translating. Jamuna's hearing the highest philosophy from Sanskrit into English, translating it into Chinese, and then typing it all at the same time. I think that's mystical.
You translate and type?
Used to. But before, you used to have two. I used to hearing and typing at the same time. This is all very mystical to me. How are these things possibly going on? But it's a wonderful thing. So I've got distracted there. But what was I saying?
Well, we started with, we're talking about innovation, scalability,
yes,
and Bhagavad and diction.
Yeah. So this is how this training center's here, and all of these facilities are here, training. That's what I was speaking about, the training of devotees that are qualified to go out and to tell people about Krishna. I think that's like a core thing. There's one thing I was saying about Srila Gokuldas Maharaj said to me, I don't care how it's happening or why it's happening, who's doing it, but people are hearing Krishna's name. So first they hear Krishna's name, they become attracted, and then slowly, according to our sincerity, according to our adhikar, according to so many things we can't understand, but then people will come. And I've had this experience for myself in Perth, where we're constantly finding, devotees coming and they're learning more, and we have deities that come and they learn how to dress, put sari, how to serve Thakurji. We do some classes, we do some singing, everybody things, and then they find a guru that they like, and they go off and that guru, even maybe I personally might not recommend going there, but I'm not like Prabhuji here. He doesn't. There's in this ashram, there's disciples from just about every guru on the planet. There's devotees here from just about every country on the planet, and Prabhuji has no. What we said. And no expectation. What we said on the website, right? There's truly no expectation. So you can come, you can hear, and if you're sincere and you want to dedicate yourself, then you will come here and serve. We were saying yesterday, right? And then as we get more taste, so this is leading, after the class yesterday, Madhavendra Puri Prabhu was asking about, his first question was,
maybe we can segue to a second video.
Okay.